We talk to people every day about moving to Florida. And let's face it, we love it here, but there are some downsides. So hold on and watch this video and see if you can handle the downsides of living in Florida. Make sure you watch till the end because you might be surprised by what number 8 is. So we always seem to start with the weather when we're talking about living in Florida. Let's face it, for 6 to 7 months, our weather here is absolute perfection. But there are some drawbacks to our weather. Number 1, it is hot, hot, hot. It is hot in the summertime here in Florida. Every day, our temperature runs 92 to 94. This year, summer of 2023, 97, 98. And we have a feels like heat index anywhere from 100 to 110. Let me tell you, it is like a don't go down that metal slide because you will burn your tushy hot. Hats, sunscreen, and your water cup. You can absolutely pick out Florida residents in the summertime because we rarely go anywhere without all 3 of these items. One other thing you find yourself doing when you're in Florida in the summertime, you're looking for the shady parking spot. Even if it means that you have to park a little farther down the row, if you can find a spot to put your car under a nice tree, it goes really lovely with your sunshade. That really helps to keep your car cool for when you're done doing all your groceries and errands. Okay, going hand in hand with the heat is the humidity. Of course, that's what makes it so hot here. But let me tell you, especially ladies, and some of you men too, the frizz. Oh, the frizz. That humidity, we've got so much moisture in our air, and I'm pretty sure that I have tried single-handedly every single hair product that is supposed to help with heat, humidity, and frizz on the market. So give me a call if you need any recommendations. All right, come here. So listen, in the summertime here in Florida, you just have to accept the sweat. It is not sexy. It is uncomfortable, but this is just the way of life here in the summer. I actually carry a sweat towel with me in the car. It's a little embarrassing to admit, but I'm serious about that because when you come in, you gotta just wipe that brow sometimes. Okay, so going along with that, yes, when we're outside, it is hot and we are sweating everywhere, but then you go inside and that air conditioning is cranking. So ladies, even though it kind of goes against each other, you wanna bring a jacket, a sweatshirt, or a sweater to go along with that sweat towel. You're gonna want that inside the restaurants. It is, you come in from being so hot and then you go inside and it's nice and cool with the air conditioning, but then you get cold. So pro tip for being in Florida in the summertime. All right, we're on to number 2. And believe it or not, we're still gonna be talking about the weather. Yep, still talking about the weather for number 2. Oh, the summer rain. We live in a subtropical climate here in Southwest Florida. So what that means is every afternoon, just about, we get tropical rains. And when I say rain, I mean sometimes it just rains fierce, crazy. Typically it will be a nice fierce 30 to 60 minute storm and then it moves on and it's pretty lovely out after that. Sometimes it might last a little longer. The part you really have to watch out for is the lightning that comes along with it. I'm not joking. This was probably one of the things that surprised me the most when we moved to Florida 12 years ago. I had no idea the lightning that would come with these storms. And what I've learned since then is that this is the lightning capital of the world. And that lightning, it's no joke. You can't play with it. We do have lightning detectors that will go off. So at the golf courses, the parks, the schools, if the lightning gets within 10 miles, it will do one long beep. That means clear the fields. They'll have lights that will flash while it is an active lightning alert. After 30 minutes has passed and the lightning is past 10 miles away, then you'll get a 3 burst all clear. So then you know you can kind of come back. So obviously it's a personal decision for people. We do not mess around with that. If we're out boating, if we're out enjoying sunshine, if we're in our pool, when that lightning gets within 10 miles, we get out of the water, we get ourselves inside. It's just not worth taking the risk. So we actually have apps on our phones that will tell you how close the lightning is. And I highly recommend that you have that if you're living here in Florida in the summer. Okay, we're on number 3 now. And believe it or not, we are still talking about the weather. Because the reality is one of the downfalls of living in Florida is that we do have hurricanes down here. So thankfully we don't have them every year and every season is not active. However, we do live where hurricanes come and we have to have an awareness. The good news is we get a lot of advance notice. So unlike tornadoes that used to hit where I grew up in central Illinois where you literally had no warning or just a couple minutes of warning, they talk about the hurricane for, weeks sometimes because they watch it coming across the Atlantic and is it gonna hit us? Is it not gonna hit us? The good news about that is you have plenty of time to prepare. You need lots of water, extra gasoline, non-perishable foods, getting yourself set with a generator if that's something that you have. So the most important part about the hurricane season is making sure that you prepare, or you can choose to leave. A lot of people will go up north or go visit family, you know, go to North Carolina, just somewhere out of the path. The fourth item that we're going to talk about, still kind of weather related, is that we can get a lot of storm surges in the, power surges, electro surges during the storms. Happens more in the summertime when we've got the thunderstorms. So sometimes we still get pretty significant winds that blow through. So we'll get a lot of flickers of power. Sometimes the power will go out, it'll come back on. And you know, at the end of the day, hopefully you're home and safe. But it's mostly just nuisances, right? Every time that happens, you got to reset the time on the microwave, and your internet goes out and you have to wait for it to reboot. So just kind of something that I guess is a little bit of a more negative for living in Florida in the summertime. Just have to have an awareness that that's going to happen and it's totally normal. And I would highly recommend you consider doing the FPL storm surge on your electronics. The great news though, outside of summertime, our weather here in Florida, Southwest Florida, particularly in our subtropical climate, perfect. Okay, I know you're excited because we're on to number 5, and we're finally not going to be talking as much about the weather. A little bit, but not as much. So number 5, weeds. Oh my gosh, do those weeds love our climate here. They love the hot, sunny weather. They love the warm weather, and there can be a lot of weeds in Florida. But here's the awesome thing. Most of our communities are in HOAs here, and in most cases, they actually will cover your lawn care. So they're cutting your lawn, trimming your bushes. Sometimes they're trimming your trees. They do spray for weeds. But here's the thing. If you're someone where your yard is particular to you and it's important to you, they're probably not going to do as good of a job of weeding as you might prefer. The reality is that the budget is split amongst all of the neighborhoods within the HOA, and it's really a small number per house. So if you think about the fact that they're already mowing, blowing all the grass out, cleaning up after they edge, they're trimming, they're already doing quite a bit of work for a pretty limited amount of money. So the great news is you've got options. 1, you can weed yourself so it'll look exactly how you want it. 2, you can hire someone to come in and be a little more precise with what it is that you're looking for. Or 3, and this is what we subscribe to, send your high school kids out to weed that yard. Oh my gosh, we are already on to number 6. Number 6, because of our snowbirding and vacation population, our population actually increases about 30 to 33% in season. Oh my gosh, so what does that mean? That means we have a lot of extra people on the roads, in the restaurants, driving. They don't always know where they're going. But listen, this is a great thing. We want these people to come and spend money in our stores, spend money in our restaurants. It's part of what makes where we live so fantastic. So, you know, we just say, gotta just have a little extra grace in season. You just have to know it's gonna take a little longer to get places. You're gonna have to actually make reservations for the restaurants in advance. We're lucky enough not to really have to do that in the summertime so much. And we just need to show some grace on the roads, knowing that a lot of these people who are here spending their dollars to make this such an awesome place maybe don't totally know where they're going. So have an awareness, show a little grace, and let's enjoy. You know, typically our season is from January to March is when it used to be, but what we're seeing now is that people are staying longer. They are loving the Southwest Florida lifestyle, and they want to live that joy for 5 or 6 months. So it's a little longer than it used to be, but you just have to have an awareness, right? And just account for it. That's it. All right, number 7, and this one really gets some people, and it is our wildlife. Yeah, we got different wildlife here in Florida. First of all, this is probably one of the top questions that we get asked. If there is water, you have to assume that there's a gator in it. It might not be at that second, but it might be there in an hour, it might be there tomorrow. So anywhere there's water, you just always want to have an awareness and know that there's probably a gator in it. And please don't feed the gators. It is against the law. I'm sure you know that already, but we got to make sure that people are aware and know that they can't, because sometimes, like if you're out golfing, it might just be sitting there on the side, just kind of hanging out. So you just have to be aware that anywhere there's a body of water, there could be a gator around. Our experience is we have gators in the pond behind our house. When we come outside, that gator swims away. Doesn't want to be around us and the noise that we make and splashing in the pool and listening to music and doing everything that we do. We also have a lot of other cool wildlife here. Okay, well, I'm starting with snakes. I wouldn't necessarily call snakes cool, but we do have all kinds of snakes. There's eagles, there's hawks, we've got geckos, no-see-ums, bears, deer, jellyfish, dolphins in the water, manatees, and don't forget about our state of Florida's #1 resident, the mosquito. That is the reason that we have cages around our pool, because there are so many mosquitoes and we can sit outside and enjoy all year long and keep those mosquitoes out. Are you ready? Because you made it to number 8. This is the one that you might not be expecting, or maybe you are if you come to visit a lot, but number 8 thing that could be considered a downfall of living in Florida is the allergies. Oh my gosh, my allergies are so bad here in Florida. But the reason for it is amazing. It's because there's green everywhere. There's always something in bloom, trees, bushes, flowers. It's absolutely amazing. And I would take the allergies all day long. I go to an allergy doctor. I've got my own little prescription of drops that I use. And then I supplement with Flonase and over-the-counter Zyrtec if I need it. Totally can help keep them in check. And let me tell you, for me, it is 100% worth it to live in a place that is green and full of color from the flora and the fauna. All right, there you have it. 8 things you need to know for sure if you are considering moving to Florida. If we can share any more information on any of these items or any other questions that you have about living in Florida, you can always reach us directly at 239-776-6872. You can text us, you can call us. You can also leave comments in the box below. Despite these 8 downfalls of living in Florida, we are still living joy here in Southwest Florida every single day. We will take all 8 of these things all summer long, all year long, in order to live in this paradise. If you're considering making Florida home, we would love to be your real estate resource of choice. Whether you're looking here in Southwest Florida or anywhere else in the state, we have a network of awesome agents that we can hook you up with if you're considering buying a home. So hit that subscribe button. We're releasing videos every week about living joy in Southwest Florida. We'll see you next time.